Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the IFSA Officials Roundtable Series. In this episode, we are going to introduce you our heads of commissions, and we hope that you will gain some insights and experience about the positions in case you would like to consider running for one of them in the upcoming elections for the IFSS 2022. Let's have an overview of the program. At first, we will start with an introduction of our officials, and then later on, we will have individual presentations from each commission and have a better insight about their work. And then lastly, you will have the chance to ask your questions, and our heads of commissions will be answering those. During the presentation, you can write down your questions in the chat, or at the end of the presentation, you can take a word and also ask yourselves. So let's begin with a brief introduction of our heads of commissions. Today we are starting with the Communications Commission, and dear Chloe will give us a presentation about how the Communication Commission work and some tips and tricks, and yeah. And after Chloe, we will have our dear Jazmín, Head of Capacity Development Commission, and we will hear about the commission from her. And next, we will have a presentation from Volodymyr about our head of Partners Commission, and following that, we will have lastly a presentation from our head of International Processes Commission, Agustin. So without further ado, let's begin with the first presentation. Chloe, floor is yours.
Thank you for that, Ella. So hi guys, I'm Chloe, the head of the Communications Commission, and we can go to the next slide. So to start off, before I introduce the main tasks of our position, I'll be introducing a framework of how the Communications Commission is structured. So there are 5 subcommissions in total under this Communication Commission. This is social media, design, Discord, web, and publications. And they're all very essential members of the team. And as the Comcom's head, if you're running for this position, you'd be the one at the center who would foresee a lot of the things that go around with the subcommissions, as the title suggests. So you would, for some tasks that are generally under this position, would be the organization of monthly meetings, the tracking of progress and individual subcommission projects, and of course, you would assist the subcommissioner tasks and support the subcommissioner heads. You work as a team to do some projects, because while there are different subcommissions under the Communications Commission, there are of course different times where you need help from someone, where you need to interact with other subcommissions to do more work. Like for example, when you're working on website, you're not just working on text, you're working on designs, you're working on promotions. So that's a lot of things you need to consider when going for Communications Commission. So yeah, as you can see, there are the faces of the officials here, but I'll leave their introductions until the next episode for the Communications Commission. So they'll have their spotlight then. Thank you. So next slide, please. For additional tasks, other things I'd like to emphasize are ensuring communication lines between Comcoms and other officials. Based on the old job descriptions from July 2021, this is not exactly part of the Comcom's head job description, but I like to emphasize this because it's like an undertone of what you're supposed to do in Comcom. So this year, there was the publication of the Communication Commission 101, which we abbreviate to Comcoms 101 since CC is taken by cultural competencies in the CBCE department. And then, so the Comcoms 101 document includes a list of guides on how you can make requests, to the Communications Commission. This includes the design, web, social media, how to make a Zoom room, how to make a what do you call this? How to make a post, and so on. And there's also the News Factory, which was originally structured to help collect submissions as well. But we also work on emails. And just a heads up, if you're planning to run for this position in the upcoming term, there will be some changes. So stay tuned. Next slide, please. Other tasks also include with coordinating with other departments and officials. Primarily, externals is the one listed in the original job descriptions, but I do think that it's as the Comcom's head position progresses, it develops into multidimensional lines of communication. And this, of course, involves working with the other departments. So for externals, you can see here a picture of Agustin sitting in one of our meetings when we were coordinating for the COP26 promotions. And we also get some requests to promote opportunities from our partners by the other members of the Partners Commission. And sometimes there are also requests from other LCs under the membership commission to make specific promotions on their LC activities during the site. And there's also the recent video we made in collaboration with the membership head, Shimon, for the LC data collection. So that's one thing that Comcoms has progressed in the past term. So those are some examples on what to look forward to as a Comcoms head position. And next slide, please. Another thing is the co-monitoring of IFSA's online platforms and tools. This comes hand in hand with working with your sub-commissioners. And these pictures here are some of the examples of what things are co-managed. And just a heads up for the next slide, you might look a bit intimidating, but it's just a visual representation of things that could help you if you're understanding what happens with the Comcoms department. So next slide, please. So under the Comcoms Commission, there are different programs and platforms that are used to create the content that we publish. For example, under design, there are Canva templates to help promote certain events that are reoccurring. If you notice, our pages, our social media pages have templates for recurring events or recurring posts. And this is done by using Canva or the Adobe platforms, including Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop when it needs to. I just put the whole suite here because this is like a general thing that is given access to the Comcoms. So while Photoshop and Illustrator are the main assets, you do have the opportunity to explore others as well. And then there's also the social media platforms. The main ones are Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. And Hootsuite is actually a platform that allows you to access multiple accounts at once so that you don't have to log in individually every time that there's a post that needs to be made. So that's an interesting thing to consider as well. Another thing under the web subcommission is the use of WordPress when editing the website. And if you're a bit more advanced or more familiar with the Avada website builder platform, you can also definitely use this. And YouTube is kind of in a middle ground here, since originally it was under the social media commission subcommission, but if you'd notice the amount of accounts under social media, it seems like a lot. So YouTube was temporarily transferred under web for this term. And that's something to consider. And of course, Discord and publications have their respective platforms, Discord being, well, Discord, and publications being MailChimp, which is what we use to edit and publish our newsletters. Generally, as well, there's the G Suite, which is used to either collect information or store information when creating minutes, creating G forms, and hosting meetings, and that's something that comes into mind. So a general description of why I included this slide is that it'll become relevant when discussing the specific skills that would be necessary when you are applying for the Comcoms head position. So next slide, please. So the average time for working in this position is around 10 hours a week. I estimate this based on experiences of having about 1 to 2 hours of emails or requests per day. So if you're not checking emails, you're working on maybe documents or planning, or maybe you're coordinating requests with other officials or other things under your under the Comcoms itself. And there are also times where you have meetings like you'll have the monthly meeting, of course, and sometimes you have 2 meetings a week. Sometimes there's no meeting for that week, and then it varies kind of. So I put an estimate of 1 to 3 hours of meetings every 1 to 2 weeks in that area. And then under this is the required skills. First and foremost is the knowledge about IFSA, the structure and the online platforms. You don't need to necessarily memorize the whole IFSA structure or what each position does, but it would be very good to be familiar with them, especially for those you work close with, which would be the other heads of commissions. Like a while ago, I was chatting with Agustin and I kind of mixed his position up with the partners commission and the IPC. So sorry about that, but I think it's an interesting experience to note for the next officials who would be watching this stream. And yeah, it's really good to be familiar with who you're talking with, because it's a bit like it's showing that you take interest in what they're doing. You know that more than knowing that they're an official, you know that they work on this kind of platform, they work on this kind of project. And if you want to approach them for different projects or consultations, you'll feel very comfortable knowing who they are and how they work, and just generally who they are as a person and official. Next required skill is the social media designs, writing skills, video editing, and networking. But I put here great assets because they are not technically required, but it would be good to be familiar with at least one of them. As you've noticed from the previous slide, there are a lot of platforms and applications that are under each subcommission. And as the head of Comcoms, you would have to be familiar with at least the basics of the platform, so that when your subcommissioner consults with you or when they want to ask for help for a specific project and they are in dire need of your opinion and consultation and input, you'd know what to do. And as you'd observe, a lot of technical stuff also happens under Comcoms, but there's also the aspect of the social networking, wherein you would need to be a quick thinker, a problem solver, and when considering different planning stages, when making schedules and projects, and that's an essential thing for being the Comcoms head. And of course, the last thing would be project management and communication skills. It's good to be organized. It's good to be comfortable with discussions. It's good to be open to feedback and new ideas, because this will help you in sustaining the projects that you want to accomplish for the term, and as well as reaching out to your subcommissioners and the other IFSA officials when you want their interaction or their input or their engagement with what you want to do, because communications is not a one person thing. It's very multidimensional, and it's something that you need a lot of teamwork and experience to get the hang of. And of course, the bonus skills are curiosity and creativity, because you're always looking to adapt. Comcoms is a very adaptive team, and you would need a lot of quick thinking, like I said earlier. And it's good to troubleshoot things when you get the chance. Like, for example, if you find that a method is taking a bit of time in your schedule and it's taking a bit of effort to perform, then you can also brainstorm some ways to make it more convenient, not just for you, but for those who are requesting for you, because you need feedback and input from both sides to make it work. And next slide, please. And of course, we also have some motivational words. I'm almost done with my presentation here. So please remember that if you work in comcoms, you're not alone. Like I said, it's not just a two-way thing. It's a lot of going back and forth between you, the audience, and your teammates. You have a great commission to work with and an amazing department to support you. These pictures here are of the internal department. Very homey pictures. So when I also included this motivational slide because when you first start out, it might be a bit intimidating because from my presentation alone, you might have noticed a lot of things have to be considered, a lot of things have to be brainstormed, or like there's a lot of things going behind the scenes, and it's something that you can't really cannot do alone. It's difficult to have to think of solutions for everything when you're only looking from one perspective. And that's why you have your team, not just to support you, but to also be part of the progress and the cooperation that goes into your work. And that's about it for my part. So next slide, please. So just a quick word for the audience. Are you ready to be part of the next ComComs team? Feel free to consult with me, and I'm rooting for you, as you can see with this cute image. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chloe, for your very comprehensive presentation. It was very nice to listen to, and I think we had a really good insight about ComComs. Again, as a reminder, you can write your questions in the chat, and in the end, we will have a question and answer round. Now we are moving to Head of Capacity Development Commission. So Jazmín, the floor is yours.
Thanks, dear. Hi, everyone. I'm Jazmín López, the head of CDC. And well, first of all, the head of CDC seeks opportunities for IFSA members to develop soft skills and complement our education by creating spaces to learn topics that in general are left behind or reviewed quickly, and same activities like training sessions for developing soft skills. And in general, the Commission creates these opportunities along with the subcommissions that integrate the Commission. Like, for example, carbon, we have 7 subcommissions: carbon and sustainability, cultural competencies, forestry education and training, gender, the joint IFSA IUFRO task force, language, and mentorship. And well, I think right now we are at the Commission with more members because we have a lot of commissioners, and that's really nice. And well, the main task as head of commission, and it's really similar to other commissions, is to oversee and coordinate the whole commission. And for this is necessary to organize monthly meetings for the members of the commission, and prepare the agenda for this, and find the time when everyone, or at least most of the officials and commissioners, can join. And for example, this term we set time since the beginning, so everyone knows in advance when it's going to be the next meeting. And next one, please. And also ensure that the goals of the commission that we set are met. And this is by supervising and supporting the heads of subcommissions and commissioners in their task. And It can be just attending the events that they organize or being part of their projects. The idea is to support them, even if it's connecting them with the necessary resources so they can achieve these goals, or even take the lead in case they cannot fulfill their task. But the idea is like being always there for them. And also keep a good communication with the internal counselor and the vice president, because, well, CDC is part of the internal department and they are looking for the well-being of this. So I think basically Belle is my daily chat since I'm always sharing information with her, like I'm always annoying her. Next one, please. So talking about communication, more tasks of the head of CDC are to ensure good communication and teamwork inside the commission. And for this, we need to work on creating a friendly environment where the other officials can feel like they can speak their minds, like they can share their ideas and thoughts. Also, as the official communication channel is Google Chat, this app is like going to be like to your best friend or something like that. Because yeah, for example, for me, every day after I wake up, I check Google Chat and there's always new messages or someone from CDC that wants help with something, or just sharing updates of the current projects. Or I use it to annoy people so they can give me updates and know how is it going to work. And continuing, attend meetings is another part of the job, and attend a lot of meetings. And I already mentioned the monthly meetings for CDC, but there are also more. For example, the internal department heads of commission. We have this meeting with Bella and Chloe to talk about the updates for our commission, see how we can help each other if we have new ideas or if we are having some issues, or just to recommend a series or something. And yeah, it's good to keep this friendly environment that I mentioned before. And also we have the internal department meetings. And for this, we also support the internal counselor in the planning of these meetings. And we also have heads of commissions meetings with the board. And it's really good because we have this communication going with other commissions and we know what's going on in the other cases. Next one, please. More meetings. Individual meetings that we are having with the heads of subcommissions, and this is to see how they are going with their projects, if they have new ideas, or even if they just need to talk to you. This is a good opportunity because we can set the meeting just to this subcommission. And for example, during monthly meetings, we are talking about everyone. So for this, it's really good because we can focus just in this subcommission. And also set meetings for specific projects, like for example, there for the language schools, we are just talking about that. Or for example, if we're having a new commissioner, to have this meeting to introduce the head of subcommission with the commissioners and share with them how IFSA works internally and externally if needed. And also, for example, if we're having some projects together, like for example, there we were having a meeting with forestry education and mentorship subcommission. So it's really nice to have these spaces to focus just in the work for some specific projects. And also in CDC, we have something called capacity building workshops. And basically this is a space to strengthen the IFSA member skills and motivate them to work through soft skill based webinars, and also provides learning material to be able on the website. So for this, the head is necessary to take the lead on this because it is a team effort, but yeah, someone had to lead this team. And also came with new ideas for future events. And it's not just working inside the commission, because for this, for example, we also work with Comcom, with Chloe, with everyone there to have this communication strategy to people can attend and know about the events that we are organizing. And of course, bring motivation for the team to continue working and creating opportunities for IFSA members, like keep the spirit of the team. That's why I see myself as the personal CDC cheerleader, because yeah, someone has to bring the motivation. And next one, please. Okay, so about time. This, of course, depends on the current activities, but the average workload is 10 hours a week. Yeah, if we are having, for example, when we were planning the Spanish school, we have more activities. So it was like meetings all the days and like for 1 or 2 or even 3 hours or something like that. So yeah, it depends in the activities that we are having in the moment. And about the required skills, a good knowledge of IFSA and how the internal department works, it's really important. So you know, like how communicate, and you can help your subcommissions to fulfill their tasks. Yeah, and also it's important because we are guiding and motivating a team. So leadership and team building skills are really necessary. And being well organized, responsible, and creative, have time management skills, and of course, good communication skills, since the key of everything is the communication. And your team should feel safe talking with you. Like if they need help or anything, they know they can reach out for you. So yeah, communication is really, really important. And I think we all, like in the last episode, and for Chloe and for the other commission, I think for everyone, have a good communication skills and being organized. It's really, really, really important. So next one, please. Well, last but not least, if you have innovative ideas, like to help others, and of course, you love IFSA, CDC is waiting for you. So I hope you can apply for it in next term and being part of this amazing team and this amazing family. I really feel CDC is always there for me, like I'm always there for them. So I hope you can feel the same way if you apply for CDC. And yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jazmín, for the very motivational presentation. And I hope this encourages our participants to consider running for this position. Okay, thank you so much. Now let's move on to our next presenter, our Head of Partners Commission, Volodymyr. Floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Elif. Hello, everyone. My name is Volodymyr Kravets, or you can call me just Vova. I am a head of Partners Commission, and we have 8 partners. So it's 10 people in our commission, 8 commissioners, 8 head of subcommissions, and 2 commissioners. So yeah, I decided to start with the general task of the position. Since we all work with the partners, it's collaborate for all of us, and we all have those goals to work with them. So first of all, it's of course to ensure opportunities for students in partners organization, make sure that we have representatives in the main partners event, internship, mentoring program. We have to monitor all of those events from the beginning, from the promotion until it's done and until we get the feedback. Second main task is maintaining friendly relations with the partners. It's regular communication and our active positions, since from time to time it can be that the partners is busy or not really active, and we should show our initiative from our side, which only increase and make us closer with the partners and provide more opportunities for us in the future. The short task is, of course, search and establish of partnership with new organizations. During every event, everywhere we go, when we meet some interesting people from different organizations which we are not partner yet, we should talk with them, know what they're doing, and see how we can be helpful for them and what they can provide for us as students. And of course, it's really important because there are many different organizations as a ProSilva or FSC or PFC or WWF, which we are not partners yet, but they have a lot of opportunities that we can use and we can help them. So that's also kind of our task. Next slide, please. Then, of course, it's ensure implementation of the external department project where the Partners Commission involved. Every project where the partners involved we are in, so it's webinars, workshop, and for example, International Day of Forest. Again, it's our big part to make a clear communication and in correct way with the partners and representative to make the event go well. And the last general task is update external and the delegation guidelines to share the experience from events with the future officials. It's really important for transfer of knowledge for the new officials year, because in the partners, the focal points stay the same, but we have changed every year. So it's really important to continue our partnership from the point we finished with the previous official. Next slide, please. Now it's a little more specific task of the head of commission position. So it's of course organize monthly meeting with head of subcommissions to know how they are doing, how the work is going on, what was done, what was wrong, or what they want to participate in if they have the task or not. Then support head of subcommissions in all their tasks. From time to time, it can be complicated because the work as a head of subcommission is mostly alone work because you're the only one who can take with the partner, and from time to time you need the support or advice from someone. So that's why we're here. And then keep communication with the external concealer and president as the two main persons who are in IFSA responsible for the partners as well. Ensure teamwork and good communication inside the commission is really important. As I said before, from time to time, it feels like you're working only the one with the partner. So to feel like you're working with the team to keep the motivation and this team spirit for better work, it's really important. And ensure that the goals of the commission are met. Of course, that's at the beginning of the term, we have a work plan, and until the end of the term, we have to be sure that it's all done. Yeah, the next slide, please. Yeah, talking about the time which is needed for the position, it's around 10 hours. It's more like communication with the head of subcommissions or paperwork. Or answering mails, and the required skills for position is of course a good knowledge about external department, to know its structure, whom to ask, what to ask, where to go to organize some events and other. Then of course to have basic knowledge about each partner, to know what you can propose, what you can organize, which topic you can invite speaker from them. And really important to have a good leadership and communication skills, because you have to keep a big group of people together, make them interested and motivated in the work. Yeah, so I guess that's it from my side. Really short presentation, but I hope you get the main idea, and I'm looking forward for your questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, Volodymyr. I think we still had very good overview of the commission in general and the positions of the position and position tasks. So thank you very much for your presentation. And now lastly, we are moving to the head of International Processes Commission. Agustin, floor is yours.
Thank you, Elif. What a pleasure to be presented by you. As for starting, I would like to really congratulate my colleagues. What a great job you've done during this term. Chloe, sticking with us, with the external department, even though we weren't always following the communication guidelines 101, but still being there for us, pushing forward for the Communication Commission. So I really appreciate that. And we are thankful also just with great motivation for everyone, not only for CDC, but for the whole officials. I also appreciated a lot of that and the work that you always put for it, for IFSA, and keep pushing it to make it a better place for all of us. And Boba, man, difficult situation you are facing, but still pushing there, building guidelines that will guide our future colleagues for years to come, for delegation, for how to be in the external department. So also really a big congratulations to you. Now, my commission is the International Process Commission. It is built of 4 UN processes that are UNCBD, that is the conservation of biodiversity, the UN Forum on Forests, the UNF Climate Change Convention, combat desertification also. And then we have 2 other commissions, sub-commissions, that are Forest Europe and the World Food Forum. So what are the main tasks of being in charge of all these processes and all these sub-commissions? First of all is to facilitate members to participate and to be involved in these UN processes. These are spaces for networking, for learning a lot, for being able to get opportunities, connections, and for us to have the opportunity to be there is a big thing, so we don't have to leave it behind, never. Also for UNFF, we have the representation on the major group of children and youth. It's run by IFSA. So if you are in that subcommission, you will be working in the MGCY. And also right now, I would like to also publicly congratulate Esha for being elected the new global focal point for UNCCD. This is a really big position, and through IFSA we applied, so she applied, and now she's going to be the focal point for the world focal point for UNCCD, that is Combat the Desertification COP. So congratulations to her. Also a big task would be to increase online reporting and engagement. It's always difficult to see how to share this opportunity, not only with the people that attend the event, but also the people that aren't able to go because of work stuff, money, etc., etc. We don't have infinite spaces. So sharing it is a really important thing. We this year tried to innovate a little bit with the podcast. We still have a couple of episodes to come, but we did the first one, sharing a little bit how has been the GLF climate experience. So I invite you to hear it if you haven't. Next slide, please. Yeah, so a big thing that we have to do now, I would say, and that it would be a responsibility for the person coming after me, it would be to improve the collaboration with the youth constituencies. All the UN processes have their own youth group that, for example, in UNFCCC, it could be Yango, or in UNCCD, it could be a youth caucus. So IFSA should be relating much more with them, and until now we have been relating much more with the secretariat itself, but it's kind of too high in the command chain, I would say. It would be easier to relate with the youth also. Also increased reporting. We have built this delegation guidelines, so this would be easier now. As I said before, UNFF will be leading the UN Forum on Forest, major group of children and youth. Also great regional dialogues. It would be awesome that people of IFSA could get together before going to the process and expressing a common opinion in the international stage, so, because in some opportunities we have the chance to be there to advocate for stuff. To, for example, Magdalena has been there in a couple of places. Now we are at the World Forestry Congress. So it's important to have a common perspective. And also maintain IFSA representation in these processes. We are the biggest international organization of forestry students. So we gotta be there in every process that has to do something with us. We gotta be knowing what's going on, sharing it with the network, and making it more valuable for all the members. For example, these are some of the also kind of different things we did for COP26. As Chloe mentioned, we collaborated on communication. We built a little bit of a communication strategy, and we did a follow us on one day of being at COP. We moved inside what we should do in the morning, then going there, the places that we visited and everything. And so all this kind of new, or their basics are doing reports, but also you can do it in a more fun way if you want, if you collaborate also with the other heads of commission or heads of subcommission in IFSA. Everyone is motivated and wants to work, so don't worry about it. Next slide. Yeah, so a really big thing also it's like a part that doesn't leave us take as much people as we would want to the processes, is that we don't have infinite funding. So try to find opportunities for IFSA members to apply for funding also could be a really important task. Many times the secretariats or the processes offer opportunities for youth, so it's our chance to take advantage of it, but we have to be looking there when the opportunities come and sharing it with the network. Also be updating the IFSA delegation guidelines. We built it this year with the external department at interim, but still new things could be happening. Like for example, the last point that is enhancing the online IFSA delegation experience. Much more could be done there, since now we're changing into a more hybrid world. We can have more participation and more engagement through online events. Also, there's not a really clear protocol of how to elect delegates and how to apply. So that could be a task for next term. Yeah, I would say that this is key task. Funding is always a problem. Now we're struggling with it for IFSS, so it's not only for external department events, but still also for internal department events. So yeah, let's keep working on that. We found some opportunities. Now we have some people contesting for going to UNCCD in Côte d'Ivoire in Africa. So hopefully they win and they can go for with fully funded spots. But we have to be sharing these opportunities because these opportunities are there, but we have to bring it and share it with the network. Next. Yeah, so more specific tasks, as every head of commission I have mentioned before, we have to be organizing meetings constantly, understanding how the work is going, ensuring that all the goals of the commission are met. Also very important, be in touch with the external counselor, with Aditi in this case, and be working as a department, as in a whole, also with Boa and Magdalena, that is like the president, that is the one that is like in charge of external stuff in the direction. Also, as working heads of subcommissions, many times we have problems of secretariats not answering, trying to find a way there to get them to answer or how to get interaction. It hasn't been easy, but it's a struggle that we've got to do. Also, ensuring teamwork, for sure, it's a big thing. Sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do in this commission itself, because most of the people work and stuff, but it's just an excuse. And if you find good communication and actually build a common goal, then I'm sure that this could be doable and the commission would work even better than now. So regarding skills, I would say that mostly knowledge of the external department and understanding the processes. This is not an easy thing at start, but then you start getting to know what's going on. Like maybe Chloe said, it's not that you have to know how to use every platform before you enter to be in Comcom, but you have to have a broad understanding. And then while the month goes on, you're going to be starting to perfect yourself and understand much more other stuff. project management and communication skills, also big thing. You are maybe traveling, attending events, or organizing events for other people to go. So you gotta be careful with where to stay, what to do, what the message you want to bring, how to move on those spaces. So yeah. Also, capacity to follow up and relate with professional people. Now you are not working in the internal department in some sense. That is mostly, yeah, you also relate with external people with, like organizing events or webinars, but our counterpart is a professional external person from most of the time from the UN processes. So this makes it a bigger responsibility in some sense to leave IFSA as a good organization, as a serious organization, as a respected organization in these spaces. Also, one mistake could mean a big mistake. Like, for example, not applying it at time for a COP, or then you can miss the opportunity for a lot of people to attend because you committed a mistake. So times are really like established in some sense to apply for the places, to get the communication, to how to do it. So you're gonna be really responsible in that sense. Last but not least, this is our team that we've been working this year. So as I mentioned, the 4 UN processes, Forest Europe and WFF. Next slide.
Yeah. It's the last one, or?
Yeah, it's probably there were just some photos, but no problem. But just what I would like for you guys to stay from this presentation is that this position is really awesome. I've learned incredible amount of how policy works, how these spaces relate. I've been able to travel to some places, work with really professional IFSA members that have helped me a lot also to make it better. I would have never done this by myself. For example, we got in our commission Erica, that is an expert on UNFF, also Alex, Esha. We got a really nice team, Rafa, everyone. So yeah, and this is at GLF. We met also, you have the possibility to meet ex-IFSAs. So for example, we have there Florent Kaiser, that is ex-president, also Salina Abraham, ex-president, Taya, ex-vice president. So you have, in these spaces, you can network and relate with people that have been in the same position that you before. And these opportunities are things that we have to keep forever building for our colleagues to be able to take advantage of them. So yeah, that would be it. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much, Agustin, for the very informative presentation. And I really enjoyed that you highlighted the fact of the teamwork. And yeah, with IFSA officials, we are really a family. So if you're considering to apply again or for the position, just don't hesitate, reach out to any of us if you would like to learn more. And yeah. And now we are moving on to the Q&A part. So in case you have any questions to our heads of commissions, you can ask directly by raising a hand or write in the chat. So far, we don't have questions in the chat. And I see that we don't have any raised hands, so I guess we can conclude for now. Again, thank you so much to our dear heads of commissions for joining today and telling about your experiences. It's very valuable for the next positions holders to hear about your experiences and learn more about IFSA positions. And this is the end of the second episode of IFSA Officials Roundtable Series. The next episode will be with the regional representatives from the membership department on 12th of May at the same time, 2 p.m. UTC +0. So be sure to join there if you're interested in running for a regional representative position. And yeah, thank you for joining. And lastly, let's have a picture if you can all open your cameras.